Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I just got done tying someone up to the railroad tracks, and today we are going to be talking about Alexandria Sabol. We've actually talked about her in the past. If you guys kind of remember, this is her TikTok page. The first video that I did on her, I kind of labeled her as TikTok's most unhealthy mom or something like that. And during that time, she was posting a lot of TikToks that were gaining a lot of traction at the time. And the main conversation was about her and her kids. And that's still kind of the conversation. But a lot of the conversation was the fact that these were very, very unhealthy foods that were being cooked, as well as a little bit, I felt like at the time, was about the state of the house. And things have gotten so much worse to a point where in my original video, I feel, in my opinion, that I was very understanding of her situation because I explained I come from a very similar situation in my past. That's kind of what my house looked like at the time. My house never looked like it's looking like now, but I really kind of understood the situation that she was in, but I definitely wasn't like, hey, it's totally fine. She should be able to do this. There is definitely quite a bit wrong with it, but things have only gotten so much worse to a point where I don't think that there's any way that I could justify it in any capacity. And so that is what we are going to be talking about today. So the first thing that I want to do is just to go over some of these TikToks just so you can see them a little bit yourself, right? And so here is her cooking dinner for her family. And obviously, people are going to comment on the state of the house and the state of the stove that she's using here.
I see it, baby.
So I think the thing that I notice when I watch this, right, is that there's really when I see a video like this that has, in my opinion, so very little effort in, that also has so many likes, right? It has over 30,000 likes, right? In my opinion, what I see is this is clearly just like rage bait. She knows why people are watching. She knows the reason that people are watching, but that doesn't change the fact that people are watching, right? And so therefore, why not just make the laziest content possible to still garner the attention, but also the revenue that comes from that. TikTok is kind of weird, but getting at least a little bit of revenue from these videos. And then with TikTok, it's all about, live streams and selling stuff on your page, which we will definitely be getting into. But again, it's just like the laziest content possible, right? Which is still garnering a lot of attention. That taco is like, where's the lettuce, man? Like, get some lettuce, maybe some sour cream or something. And then this is when, again, it seems like affiliate marketing is becoming a big part of it. And as you can see, it's the house, right? People are leaving comments. They say a lot of the comments are people saying that there's rabbit droppings, as you can see here. Apparently she has a rabbit. She claims that that's not what that is on the ground. It's like the food. But even still, it's just an obvious sign of neglect, in my opinion, of at least cleaning the house, right? Because she is a stay-at-home mom. This is what she does 24/7. And again, I'm not saying that being a stay-at-home mom is easy. It is not. But if you have enough time to film yourself and do all of these promos constantly all the time, I think you should have a little bit of time to at least pick up after yourself a little bit, right? So this is like a very popular trend really on TikTok called the infinity hoop, which again, as you can see, right, this is a sale, right? Use code ALEX10 to save on your infinity hoop. So this is basically an ad for this thing, right? And this is something that I've seen a lot of people using, and a lot of people, really pretty much everyone that I see using it is also promoting it to make affiliate commissions, which again, that in and of itself isn't a bad thing, but it's just like so bizarre to see this with all of the other stuff going on, right?
If you want to join me in hooping, click the link in my bio and check my description for a coupon code that's going to save you money on your hoop. Love you guys.
So, that's kind of the content that we are working with. And then I genuinely, I am surprised that I saw this on her page just because I wasn't expecting it, right? So if you guys don't know, recently I put out a video talking about people on TikTok promoting different compound pharmacies that sell GLP-1 medications. And lo and behold, as I was going through her TikTok, I found that she is working with one of these companies, and that is this one right here. So she is replying to a comment here that says, how much have you lost so far? So it's every week. Can you eat? What are the limitations, right? So now she is promoting this brand, which is Mochi Health, I guess, which, again, this is another one of those compounded places that are selling GLP-1 medications to people through TikTok. And it's just so crazy to me that these medications are basically becoming the same equivalent as that infinity hoop thing that we just saw, right? It is just another thing for someone on TikTok to attach to themselves and promote for a code. And if you guys don't know the way that this works, most of them, I can't speak for all of them, but I've had people message me, especially after that video that I put up. I actually had a lot of people message me, which was really cool. But I had people message me saying that they were messaged by some of these companies, right? And what they would do was this company would give them a specific amount for a monthly stipend, right? So basically, from what I heard, it was like $1,500 or more, right? Just pay them to use the product, right? And then on top of it, every person that will use their code, they would get $20 to $50 depending on, a bunch of different factors. But so the people are getting paid to basically be a pharmaceutical rep for these compounded things, right? And again, I want to make it very clear, I'm not against GLP-1 medications. I think that they can be very helpful, but I think we need to be careful with how we are getting them in the hands of people. And this just, through TikTok doesn't seem like the way to do it that is going to be the most, vetted, So, but I thought it was interesting that she is promoting one of these companies here.
So every week, you pick a day and you take it every single week on that day. And for the most part, as long as you stay in a calorie deficit, you can eat what you want within a certain limit. Like, you can't go and eat, 40 Reese's bars or whatever. But the good thing about tirzepatide is it curbs your cravings.
So this is one of the problems here that I think a lot of people have when we were talking about these medications. Well, yes, that isn't not true, right? You can kind of eat, as long as you're in a deficit, you can eat whatever you want. But if that's kind of the way that you are going into it and that's what you are hoping, I think that sets up a lot of people for failure, right? Because you think that these medications, if you think that, I'll just continue eating whatever I want and I'll just take this medication and I'll lose weight. And maybe you will, right? Because you're in a deficit. But if you are not learning the habits that you need long-term, it's just not going to work, right? Especially with these compounded pharmacies, a lot of them are probably not going to be around forever. So the way that these people are getting these medications isn't going to be around forever. So there's going to be a point where they're probably not going to be able to get these medications. And they, if we look at what Alex is saying here, they are not learning the proper nutrition and healthy habits to sustain that lifestyle. So they're going to get off these medications and gain a ton of weight, right? And I know this video is not about this, but I just thought it was so interesting that she is promoting one of these companies, right?
I don't even have cravings for unhealthy food anymore. And if you are interested in getting more information for yourself, I have the link to Mochi in my bio, and you can speak with a doctor to see if you qualify for tirzepatide or semaglutide. Just click the Begins link in my bio. Thank you for the question.
So there you guys go. So there you guys go on that one. And now I wanted to share, this is an account that kind of goes through a lot of Alex's videos and points out the really bad stuff. So it's going to get a little bit more serious from this point on. So a little bit of a trigger warning. But I do want to go over this because this stuff is actually important. And this is where I was like, okay, this is getting to a point where now it's not just like a haha funny joke. Wow, this person oh my God. It's this is genuinely a problem and something has to happen, I feel. This is the account right here, Resilient Wrinkle Jenkins. I don't know. It's a snark page. They call it that themselves, right? And this is where they kind of have gone over and gone through some of these things, right? So the first one that I want to go over is this one, which is talking about the very, very, very unhealthy and, lack of a better term, nasty living situation that she is in along with her kids.
Donut Mom posted a video of her doing her dishes, and you can see several maggots all over her fork. Slowed down and zoomed in. Oh my fucking god. Alex, do you not understand that you have shit on the floor and trash and food all over your house? There's generations of flies living in your house. Not the fly making an appearance as well. It's checking on its babies. And this the sink where the fork came out of. And she will continue saying her mess is not as bad and we're being dramatic. So I guess doing the dishes, cooking real food, cleaning the rabbit poop, organizing your house, and mopping and sweeping and laundry are all too hard for Alex VC. She is such a busy SAH. But she has time to promote random products that no one buys and also has time to do her nails all day, every day.
So again, this is someone that is kind of calling out the hypocrisy right there we're seeing here. And I definitely, it gets to a point where, again, I understand, like, especially on social media, it's so common to see people that are kind of in nicer houses, right? A lot of times that's the stuff that we see on our For You page because that's what pops off. That's what gets popular. And when you see a house that maybe isn't a super high-end house, some people might see that and think it's automatically dirty. With that being said, that is not what's happening here, right? This is, yes, a lower income household. There's nothing wrong with that. But this is a lower income household that is not being cleaned and maintained, especially when you think about the fact that there are, I believe 3 children that live in this house, right? This is a problem because on top of all of this stuff, everything that we are seeing, we are being shown by Alex, right? This is her decision to show this. And so this is not something that she must be that embarrassed of. And it's not even about being embarrassed, but she thinks that this is completely fine, right? And that people are being over dramatic for being like, hey, this isn't okay, right? The fact that there is allegedly bunny droplets all over the ground, like, that is something that should be handled, especially if there are little kids in the house. Like, that is not something that is okay, right? That is not something that is okay. This next thing that I'm going to show you is, I think, the worst thing by far. So again, a little bit of a trigger warning, but what we're going to be looking at is her boyfriend. I believe it's the kid's father as well. I'm not entirely sure. But she was doing, I think it's a live here, and there is a clip of him walking around with a pew-pew in his hands, just walking around the house with that going on. So again, just be warned that that's what's happening here. But I'll share my thoughts after we watch this video.
Donut Mom's boyfriend is walking around the house with a pew-pew.
No, you can't have it.
So he has it. You guys can't really see it because it's covered, but he has it in his hand here. Just
Mine. Hers, yes.
What in the actual heck? Why is he holding it like that? They have small children in the house. What the fuck is going on in that house? Her walls are full of patches. What are they doing in that room that's causing this many holes in the walls? I'm very concerned and worried about those kids. Why is this same dirty shirt on the ground from 5 days ago? Is that shirt where the animals go to pee? Like, what is going on actually? The state of her bedroom is just as horrific as the rest of the house. There's trash all over the place as well. Even her walls. Why is there random insulation just exposed like that? Like her whole family is just breathing in fiberglass every day. And the poop and a piece of toilet paper on that floor too. This is actually urgent and scary.
So as you can see there, right, that's, in my opinion, that's unacceptable. And apparently there allegedly has been like conversations between this guy and other people, like with comments and stuff like that. And he's saying that, you know, the reason he has it is because the house has been broken into, and he makes sure that he, you know, keeps it away from the kids, and he has it, you know, in a place where the kids can't reach it, because he said he has multiple, right? But I really struggle to believe that when we are looking at a house that is in the state that it is in, you know, in these videos that we are seeing. I really struggle to believe that people that are okay with a house being that way, with kids living in a house like that, are competent enough and are able enough to have those pew-pews, right, in the house and walk around with them in their hands, but also make sure that they are out of reach of the kids, and, you know, they are put away to where the kids can't get them. I really, really struggle to believe that those two things are possible at the same time. And so, like I said, it really is at a point where I do believe something needs to happen. And from what I've seen with other videos that I've watched, there have been a few people that have called like CPS and stuff like that, like non-emergency lines. I personally am not going to do that, but I've seen that people are doing that. And from what I'm seeing, like at this point, I don't know, man, this seems insane. And it's just like, it's just something with TikTok, man. Like, it is something about TikTok that allows people to make content like this that is so low effort that people that are in a situation like Alex is in, whether, you know, she claims that she has a lot of mental health issues, which maybe is going on, but it makes you struggle to wonder, like, should these people be allowed to have the platform that they have and make and monetize it, especially with kids being involved as well? Like, it really is. I think that this is a really important thing that is happening right now. And like there needs to be some sort of precedent that is set, because this is not something that should continue. I can't imagine being the kids, especially once they get older, knowing that their life was just shared like this. And I would be personally so unbelievably embarrassed if my mom was doing this online. And I really feel for them, but I feel like this situation, it's coming to a head, and something needs to happen, because I really don't want, you know, what can happen to happen here, right? I want a solution. And like myself, like I said in my previous video, I was taken away from CPS from my mom for a year, right? But that for her was a huge wake up call for her to make changes. Am I saying that that needs to happen here? No, but I am saying that I am a product of that happening and it improving my life, right? And so there needs to be something. So there needs to be a change at the very least, right? But I just wanted to share that. I would love to know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.